Nobody indeed. What is good? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. You already know, man. We got a great Monday show for you. How's the weekend, everybody? Look at my two dudes right here. Big Greg Mattson. What's up, buddy?
Happy Monday. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, dude. Hey, we gave you a shout out on Sunday. We got to do it again. That UTSA conference, dude, plus 2,000. Great job, man. We appreciate you on that.
Yeah, that was fun. They did it in dominating fashion too. It was cool to to see them beat ECU like that too. Was even more impressive to do it on the road and clinch it like that was cool. And yeah, ECU I think was picked to finish 5th in the conference. So it was as much me hating on ECU as much love for UTSA. So it worked out well. But yeah, it was a nice cash.
Yeah, it's great cash, man. Hey, we're all road runners today, baby. Now, Bradley. Looking sharp. How we doing, buddy?
Doing great, AB. Off of a lot going on this past weekend in the world of football. We got a lot of leagues finishing over the next couple weeks. Got a lot of leagues in the first 5, 6 matches. So it's kind of a difficult time to get into a real routine with betting football, soccer, but we're here to get through this period.
That we are indeed, man. Hey, my boy Matty Ice, dude. Hope you're feeling better, buddy. I see you in the chat, man. So you're sick in bed. Hate to hear that, bro. Hey, get better. Get to feeling better. Get some bets. Ice. Sleep down. Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's get into the Howie Schwab crew play of. Oh, wait. Hold on. Sorry. Got to get yesterday. All right. Major League Baseball. At the top here. Salvador Perez got that run. That was nice. He did not have the day that we thought that we would have from him. Kyle Tucker. Rough day there for him with the Cubs. Manny Machado. RBI, although we did not get a home run. Then the NBA, and we're going to talk about this here in a second. Jamal Murray, Jokic, Donovan Mitchell. Thanks for showing up, pal. Why'd you even come? All right, as the Cavs just get the hell beaten out of them. All right, the Howie Schwab crew play of the day. We got 2 NBA games tonight. Celtics minus 6.5, Knicks plus 6.5, or you go in Timberwolves minus 5.5, or the Warriors plus 5.5. Poll is in the chat. Vote now. We'll update as we always do at the end of the show. Okay. Fellas, let's get to the picks here. And then we're going to talk NBA. And I want to talk about yesterday. I want to talk about a bad precedent that the NBA is setting that they are absolutely going to regret. And I don't want to hear any whining from them because they're allowing it now. All right. And this is all on them. But let's get to the picks first, man. Brad, go ahead and start us off. What you got? Because I have no idea what this is.
Sorry. We are headed to the Finnish Veikkausliiga in Finland here just before noon Central Time in a matchup between SJK and VPS. We're taking that over 2.75 Asian total. 3 goals cashes us out. 4 goals gives us the full cash. But SJK, they're coming in, scoring 12 of 14 in their matches, their recent matches, and then 15 of 18 in the league. So they're trending above 80% scoring. They're also conceding regularly, well above 80% at 15 of their last 17, 88. So regular scoring, regular conceding, hitting both teams to score in the over 2.5. They also hit over 3.5 and 67% of their over 2.5. But it's really VPS that we like the most. They are one of the scoring darlings of the Finnish Veikkausliiga. They've scored now in 44 of 50 league matches, 88%. You regularly see VPS score, especially when they play in the league, but also they concede, not just regularly, but also away from home where they are today. They've conceded in 19 of 21, 91%, 14 of the last 16 away, 88%, and 2+ in the last 70% of their 20 league matches. So it's regular scoring, regular conceding. They're hitting that over above 70% as well of their trending 20 league matches. And they also hit over 2.5 or over 3.5 in 80% of their over 2.5s. And in the matchup history, what we like better than everything, both teams score 5 of 6, over 2.5, 7 to 10, and over 3.5 in 3 of the last 4. So what we like more than everything is that over, not just the BTTS. So we're taking that over 2.75 Asian total at minus 140.
Nice, man. Now, I got to say here, look, real quick. Let me pull it back up in there. That reads like 2 private schools in Nashville battling each other. MBA, BGA. That was the first thing that came to mind. And I'm sure that everyone in the chat that does not live here is like, what the hell is they talking about? Like every private school, and it might be the same way in your city, but every private school in Nashville is a BGA, an MBA, a BA. Innsworth is the only one that's holding it down with the full name. And I can't even afford to park in the parking lot in Innsworth. So there you go. What is it, like $90,000 a semester or something?
I mean, it's probably even more than that at this point. But we're lucky about Finland is these aren't these are acronyms. So we don't have to say the entire name. So thank you to the Finnish Veikkausliiga for shortening for everybody around the world.
We appreciate that. Yeah. No. We want to give them a shout out on that for sure. And it's rough when Vanderbilt is, what is Vanderbilt? $100,000 a year, I think.
Pretty close.
Yeah. When you're a private high school in Nashville and you're more expensive than private school Vanderbilt, which also, by the way, got to give two shout outs to Vanderbilt. Number one, absolutely hammered down on Tennessee this weekend and did exactly what we said that Tennessee needs to be doing. On Saturday, here is an actual fact. All right. Vanderbilt, they converted every single hit that they got on Saturday into a run. Tim Corbin played all small ball all weekend and said, get on base, convert and score, said runners, right? Literally did. And they had 12 hits, I think, on Saturday. Like, absolutely a shout out to them for sure. And then number two, got to give Vanderbilt credit being the only private school in the SEC, maybe 6,000, 7,000 students in full, and getting all of that SEC money as well. Like, Vanderbilt's got more money than God. Like, they know, they literally, I think they, who's the dude, Ingram, that showed up like when Nashville was getting the MLS stadium, and they were like, well, we don't know what to do with the city. We're going to have to fund it. And he said, oh, I'll float it. Just pay me back. What? Shout out to them. All right, enough yapping from me. Greg, throw it over you, bro. You got two picks. What you got, man?
Yeah, we'll keep it simple. A little easier to find on the sportsbook options for these. Timberwolves -5.5 tonight. I think this line is a little bit short, especially with what we saw last game. I would be surprised if the Warriors could hang, to be honest with you. And on the other side, kind of a situational play with the Diamondbacks tonight. Giants coming off a long series in Minnesota. Offense wasn't great. It was a long series. It was a late game yesterday. I like them coming back today against Merrill Kelly. I think that the Diamondbacks have a great opportunity to cash.
Nice, man. Nice. Well done there. That was funny. You said a little bit easier to find in the sports book.
I don't even know where I'd click.
No.
You need like a tutorial to get to that.
No. Well, dude, let me say this. Okay, so this is another reason why I love Brad, and this is not a shot at anybody. Back at CBS at the early edge, when there would be a ton of soccer picks, I would get so frustrated, like in the morning, like doing everyone's recap, for the show, because I was like, please just email me if these hit or not. I can't find them. ESPN.com doesn't have them. I'm Googling things on a work computer. I'm going to get fired for the. I feel you, dude. They're absolutely brutal to find. John in the chat said, AB 97 MBA graduate here. It was cheaper back then. Couldn't afford it today. All right. So first off, okay. So John is talking about Montgomery Bell Academy. All right. And MBA is about probably like, I know that there are other, private schools in Nashville that are all fantastic. Like, this is nothing negative on any of them. They're absolutely fantastic schools. MBA is probably like, it's the OG. If you're not familiar with Nashville, MBA is the OG. So shout out to John there. Obviously well-educated guy. Like, MBA just produces very well-rounded individuals. You know what I mean? Cannot knock the school. And he's right. Like, I don't know what it costs now. It's right over there in West End, like pretty close to Vanderbilt. A fantastic school, fantastic athletics, unbelievable. My boy Barton Simmons played over there at MBA. Yeah, shout out there to John. Dude, I have no idea what that would cost. Now, it's Spell Dog. Vandy Hospital is a front for the school. Just kidding. Let me say this. Vanderbilt is a front for the hospital. The hospital owns the entire city of Nashville, and I am not kidding on that whatsoever. Dude, you're closer than you think on that. That's funny, man. My picks here, I'll get to 3 that we've got. Look, Jimmy Butler, knock on wood. Look, 3s have been popping. I'm not gonna stop. Now, here's the funny thing. Anybody that's been riding these, you've noticed, all right, 3 games ago, Jimmy Butler over 1.5 threes was plus 250. Then it was plus 200. Then it was plus 180. Right now it's plus 140. So they're kind of catching on. But I mean, again, he's gonna have to shoot them. And has anyone noticed that every time Steph Curry is out, Draymond Green either fouls out or almost fouls out? And let me say this: when you have 4 to 5 fouls in the NBA, you're basically have fouled out because you cannot commit a foul, so you can't play defense. You could barely rebound, like, because you're 1 away from being out, right? So, yeah, I just find that one funny. If you could bet Draymond Green fouls over 4.5, take it. Jason Tatum over 3.5 threes. Celtics know what time it is. Knicks still lead. All right, 2-1. And then the Angels and the Padres, even though we have a really good pitching matchup tonight, Kikuchi's on the mound for Los Angeles. There are some decent historicals, and I think that the Padres can get to them a little bit. Now, we'll see about that. I mean, easier said than done. But don't sit out on the Angels either. Like, I wanted to ride some Padres props, but, dude, don't sleep on the Angels tonight either. Like, they could get after some. So we'll take Angels Padres over 7. Okay, those are our picks. All right, let's get into the NBA. Now, I'll pull this on screen, but I want to leave it here for a second. So I talked about a bad precedent that's being set, and it's this. Last night, Cavaliers absolutely torched by the Pacers, okay? The Cavs are just pulling starters out third quarter. Now, I get it in the fact that we're down 25 or whatever. This game's probably over. Probably. I get it. But here's the bad precedent. You're pulling starters in the third quarter of a game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Here's the problem. With the NBA, we're already reaching the point where the regular season doesn't matter. Load management. All right. And again, I'm not discounting the benefits to these. I get it. I absolutely get it. If you are the Cavs, you're saying, okay, look, this game is probably over. All right. Now we're down 3-1. I need my guys rested to have any kind of a chance. I absolutely get that. Load management during the regular season. It's a lot of games. It's a lot of travel. I get that. All right. I'm not discounting that there are benefits to it. But the problem is this, is that when you take starters out, all right, yeah, you're going to lose viewership, okay? But there are going to be people that just see a blowout, starters in or not, that are going to turn it off and say, oh, this game's over, right? I get that. But here's my question, and I'll pull you guys full screen here. Here's my question. Not that the NBA or any other league needs to take sports betting into account, right? Because that just sounds dirty. I don't mean it by that. But there are aspects to sports betting that are driving huge revenues and viewership for your league. And when you take these starters out, you are essentially you're driving off. Like I put on Twitter last night, and multiple people were like, this is why I don't watch the NBA. This is why I don't bet on the NBA. And yeah, you could say it's 1 or 2 people replying. What does that matter? Multiply that. There are a lot of people that are saying, dude, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of betting players, and they get pulled the third quarter, right? So the precedent is this, is that now the problem in the regular season that the league is facing, all right, because look at them. They've created an entire tournament because viewership stinks. Now, the same thing that cannibalized your regular season, you are allowing in the postseason. And again, teams can do what they do. Coaches can make their own call. But just to be honest with you, when you look at the commissioners, right? If this were happening in the NFL, Roger Goodell would be with those owners saying, fellas, you like all that money? Why don't you kindly talk to your head coaches and say, if everybody likes living good, we're not going to be doing this all that much. Brett, I throw it over to you, man. You're a Cavs guy, right? Like, how do you feel about it? Because, again, I do understand the benefits and I do understand the mindset of a coach. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I don't know the answer here. So I throw it over to you, man. Like, what do you think about this?
I'm not sure that there is a good answer to this solution or this problem. If there is a good solution, Kenny Atkinson, he left Donovan Mitchell and some of those guys in up, 25 plus late in the fourth quarter the other night. And then now he pulls them in the third quarter. These are just some strange decisions. I know that the Cavs aren't necessarily experienced in the playoffs and have some of those guys who can lead within the locker room. But, I mean, you can't be doing this. Like, pulling starters this late in the game is a total give up. You are down on the spread of number of games in order to win. At least give it a shot. Do something different. Maybe, just something. Don't just give up. I hate giving up. And that is another reason why I very rarely bet the NBA, especially player props. These guys just leave the game at a moment's notice.
See, you just nailed it right there, right? So, okay. And Greg, I'll throw the same question over to you, but like, here's the problem. Like, with what you just said, I think that you nailed it. Number one, you just agreed with the same, replies and responses that I was getting of, I'm not betting this, right? But, number two is that, okay, now what do you do? Like, if you're the Cavs, you've waved the white. Now you're down 3-1. And you've already shown, doesn't matter, right? Like, what's the mindset coming in? If you're down at halftime, you're just gonna wave the white flag again and say, "Well, series is over." Then you've got a real problem. You know what I mean? And Bibbo in the chat, says, remember that story of Larry Bird being down like 25 in the second half and him telling the ref to not quit because the Celtics were never to be seen in today's NBA. Yeah, and I don't want to be. And I'm Robert. I'm not putting on the. That's a great comment. I don't want to be old man yelling at a cloud because, again, I do get it. The mindset, I can understand it and appreciate it. Say, look, the only shot we have is if our guys are good to go in game 5. It's the only shot we have. I get that, right? But Greg, I throw the same thing over to you, man. Like, even in Major League Baseball, like, yeah, if a team's up 12-1, we'll see guys, pinch hit, but they generally don't do that until, the 9th inning, right? Like, what are your thoughts on just all this, Greg?
Well, and you can't bring them back in baseball either. It's like you can't sit them on the bench for 10 minutes and say, "Oh, I need Ohtani, go hit now. I need you to go, go back in there and play." So, obviously there's the protection side of it. But, you see like Kike Hernandez and other guys who are your go-to up 15-run pitchers that, it's hilarious and it's part of the game at the same time. And people that don't play baseball see it and they're like, why are you doing that? And it's, well, you're protecting your staff for the rest of the week. What are you gaining down 14 in the 8th inning? Not a lot, but end of the year, it's different. You'd throw some, young kid that's just getting his first time up there because you have nothing to lose and you want to get that effort. But yeah, it really started with Popovich years ago with allowing it with those guys. And he, used the system how he could. It wasn't him being a bad guy. It was getting the most out of his team, and look at the results. The Spurs are one of the most elite winning franchises forever during the Ginobili and Duncan and Tony Parker era. So, it had to be handled and done in a certain way. But when you're talking about the playoffs, I just don't understand. What gain are you getting by going down? Oh, let's rest everybody. So what? Then you've got to travel twice to win 3 games in a row. Like, I just don't understand if you were able to keep that around. Didn't we just watch a game where a team came back from 7 down in 27 seconds or whatever? Like, to say it's not possible is crazy. And these teams go on crazy cold streaks at times. The NBA is a game of runs, and you go on 2 decent runs with some time still. You just never know. And I get the point of keeping your, wanting to get some rest, but you got the whole offseason in another game here if you play it the same way. So I don't know. It's been strange coaching. The whole injury situation with Cleveland's been odd too. I mean, who really knows what's going on there? I mean, you've got 3 different guys that have had issues, and who knows who's playing through what or what's, false news. So just a lot of ugly parts. I do worry that, this kind of continues to set a precedence, and now we've moved on with the NIL. So I'm hoping that, like they'd said with Trump using that executive order, maybe to handle this in terms of what allotment teams can get, how it's protected. I mean, I think has to get, a cap on it, or it's going to turn into this in a different version again. You've got some $10 million quarterback down for 4 touchdowns at halftime. Who's to say now these teams are going to be like, well, he's worth too much money. We'll sit him now. We'll bring in, the other best. So it's weird, and it transfers to a lot of sports, but it's definitely a head shaker. And I'm sure for Brad, it's just you want to punch your TV when you see stuff like that. It's like you're literally just throwing in the white towel and saying, forget it. We'll be down 3-1 and just say that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Great points, guys. It's tough because how do you stop it? Like, if I were a coach, and the league called me at halftime and said, don't even think about it. They can't force you, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's a bad precedent. It's a bad precedent, and it absolutely, they'll regret it. Like, the more that they normalize it, they'll regret that. John said, look, Nick's the only team. Yeah. And Greg, you brought up a good point, and then we'll move on from this. But everything that made the NBA playoffs so far awesome is now gone, right? Like you said it. Teams making massive comebacks to steal games. Now they're not doing it. But, you look at the other side, and the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets look gassed. Like, they're not waving the white towel at all, but they look completely gassed, man. So we'll see. Again, not coming at, anything super negative, but it's a question, man. And I don't know quite frankly the answer. All right, let's get to the games that we have for today. So we have 2. First one, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We have the Celtics and the Knicks. Knicks lead the series 2-1. This game's in New York. Celtics minus 6.5. Total of 208 and a half. Greg, I'll throw it over to you, man. What are your thoughts here? Celtics, Knicks.
This one's so weird to me. I feel like the minute I want to take the Celtics in this, it's going to be another one of those games where Brunson just doesn't go away. The Knicks continue to hang around. Cat's been impressive. There's that buzz around the Knicks right now. And, the Celtics, what we saw last game, if they can play organized, they can hit shots, they can continue to play like a team, they are one of the best out there. And that's not a surprise. But you still continue to question the shot attempts, what they're doing. I mean, you look at games 1 and 2 with that 3-point situation. If they play consistent basketball instead of just chuck and duck, and it works at times, but in the playoffs, and I've heard it multiple times, you don't have to, go for it all every single time. There's times where it's okay to run the clock, work it down low, do more than just end up kicking it back for an ISO 3. And I feel like so many times the Celtics just sort of let go of the rope at times. They'll get it way up. We've seen it. 20-point leads are their absolute kryptonite. So it worries me. At the same time, I just don't know if the Celtics get up this, decent number again. Are they going to let go this time? They've done it twice already. We saw what happened last game. So it is concerning. I would look, if I had to, at a Celtics money line with something, possibly T-Wolves Celtics if you were going to look. But it just worries me with that 6.5, knowing, like we've said, the Knicks are really the only team that have not given up the entire playoffs, no matter the score. They continue to stick around. It's a gutty team, and it worries me with 7 points.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Addison in the chat, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you indeed. All right, Brad. So same thing. Question over to you, man. What do you see here, game 1? Or I'm sorry, in the first game, game 4.
I'm kind of with Greg on this. It's like you can have the Celtics up by 20 plus, and then all of a sudden they go cold from 3. They are really, really reliant on that 3-pointer. They take a lot of them, spread it out. And I like that about a team, but that also brings a lot of volatility in. So if you go cold, It's just going to be a large run, and the Knicks are such a grinder with Brunson. So if you go cold, he's going to just go ISO and take it to the hoop and try to cut that lead. But with all that being said, I think the Knicks are going to get tired. Maybe in this spot, I think the Celtics are going to come out and take this game, and Knicks will be ready for game 5. But I'm going to take the Celtics minus 6.5.
There we go. I'll say this, Celtics are kind of in the same spot that the Cavs were, but I mean, the Celtics are going to bring it. The Knicks are going to bring it. We went under on that Cavs game. I kind of think I kind of go that way as well. Now 208 is a low number, but I think I lean to the under. I think this game could be a fight. Like you're going to see two teams. They're going to be going at it, absolutely going at it. I think I'm going to lean to the under. All right, second game here. T-Wolves and the Warriors. All right, Timberwolves lead the series 2-1. It's in Golden State. Timberwolves are the favorite. Now, going into game 3, we talked about, was that Warriors game 1 fool's gold, right? Steph gets hurt. Both teams throw the game plans out and right in the middle of the game. Like, the Warriors played better in game 3 than I thought that they would. They played their asses off. Now, they could have, maybe some say should have, won that game. Jimmy Butler didn't score a point in the final 8 minutes of that game. Draymond was in foul trouble. And it goes to what we've been talking about. Same, like, the Warriors without Steph are playing a game of margin of errors. Like, their margins are so thin. Greg, I thought over to you, man. You're out in this area. You're a Warriors dude, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure grew up around it. You know what I mean? How do you see this game coming out game for you?
Yeah, we've been here since the Joe Smith round 1 ugly days, and it's been a long run, but it's fun. It's been great to see with what the Warriors have become, and I think I'm about as even keel of a fan as there is. I don't let previous success or any of that stuff dictate how we utilize it in terms of a betting standpoint. But an interesting number, we talked about Draymond Green, 11 ejections since 2019. 7 of those have been when Steph Curry has not been in the game or playing it at all. So he's, you've heard multiple things about it. He has shown, and the stats don't lie, that he's struggled and or possibly not cared. 10 games without Steph Curry, 7.1 points, 6.1 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and that's when he's even on the court. So the numbers do not lie there when you're listening to what he is or is not doing. Like you said, there's just little room for error. There already is. The T-Wolves are going to be a tough battle for them with Curry. Now without him, you just see the effort and the issues. Draymond's probably not going to give his all. That at the same time, if you get foul trouble from any of these other guys for the Warriors, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. I think it was fool's gold last game. I think that the T-Wolves played down as much as the Warriors played up. I just felt like it was sloppy. I think that tonight you're comfortable second time in the gym playing in Golden State. I think the T-Wolves handle business. I think they cover the number. T-Wolves Celtics money line parlay I also think is a pretty reasonable play.
Yeah, that is reasonable play. I like it. And here, all right, I'm going to go with the over. And I'll tell you why. I think Minnesota is going to focus on playing what we were talking about earlier in baseball, playing small ball. I know I've said this before, but if I were coaching the Wolves, okay, and again, I'm not an NBA coach, but I would say, fellas, look, it's like poker. You can't win the game in the first quarter, but you certainly screw it up. All right. What we want to do is chip count, right? Let's just build our pot. And then once we are, sitting pretty and we have a larger chip count than everyone else at the table, we're going to use that and lean on you. Meaning, I think that the Timberwolves are going to attack the paint. All right. Shots around the rim, rebounds, offensive rebounds, putbacks, and try to get the Warriors in foul trouble. I think that is absolutely the game plan. Because if that doesn't work, okay, we could switch up. We can fire a couple from outside. Like, you could switch out of that. But if it does work, then the Warriors are going to be in serious trouble. And then that changes, playtime for guys. The playtime. Like they're at McDonald's. It changes the amount of minutes, right? It changes the way that you function as a team, offensively and defensively, right? You get them in foul trouble, guess what? Now they can't be aggressive in the paint, all right? They can't attack you defensively. So theoretically, you just keep hammering it, all right? And if you get Draymond in trouble, like I was surprised. Draymond had 4 fouls. All right, comes out of the game with like 10 minutes left, comes back in, okay? And if I were the Wolves, I'm taking the ball and driving right at Draymond Green. What are you going to do? You going to defend it and foul? Now you got 5. I would come right at you, bro. You know what I mean? And if you step back, land it up. Now, again, it's the NBA. It's not that simple, but I think that's what the Wolves do tonight. That being said, I like the over because I think that you're going to have both teams at the foul line a lot tonight. Because I think that the Warriors are going to do the same thing. And the Timberwolves are not going to be afraid to be super aggressive defensively down there, which will lead to fouls on them as well. And, of course, you're going to have both teams shooting from the outside. Golden State's going to absolutely have to shoot from the outside. Yeah, I like it. I like the over 199.5 here. And, again, it could go super low, but I think that you're going to see a lot of you're going to see the clock stop a lot. And not only are guys going to, do their thing, normal offensively scoring points, but you're going to have more opportunities to the free throw line as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go over 199.5 there. Okay, so let's pivot over to baseball. But first, let's hit our picks one more time for anyone who may have came in a little bit later than the start. First off, if you could, everyone, please hit that like button. I'm not going to go smash that subscribe button and not going to do all that YouTube host there, but the like button is a massive help for us. If you're watching on your phone, just pull the screen down, hit like, pull it right back up. If you could do that, man, that would be huge. Christian Hastings, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you indeed. All right, let's hit our picks. Brad, private school game. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, to go back to that T-Pups, I wanted to say I want to take that -5.5. I didn't get the chance to weigh in on that, but
my bad. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, I was just gonna give the quote: Ant-Man, Batman, Superman, T-Wolves in 5.
My bad, buddy. I did not mean to skip you on that whatsoever.
It's all good. I love Anthony Edwards. I just needed a second to back that man. He is an absolute dog, and if you want to back a team in the NBA, you need a dog, and Anthony Edwards is that guy.
He's a dog. Hey, there ain't no question about that. That man is a dog for sure. All right. I love it, man. All right. What you got here? Big Doug Levy. What's up, buddy? Hey, good to see you, bro. All right, keep going.
Yeah, we're headed to Finland in the Finnish Veikkausliiga coming up here in 2 hours. It's SJK, VPS. We're looking for 4 goals, but 3 for the cash, over 2.75 Asian total, -140.
There we go. Now, Liddy, our guy, Dodgers guy, yesterday I commented, dude, I love the Padres unis, right? Like those Gray, brown with the yellow and brown pinched. Dude, they're money. Liddy said the Padres unis are putrid disgusting. The Dodgers unis are clean too. Oh man. Yeah. Mario said it. Look, I never let Brad talk. That's my bad, dude. Mario's right. Oh, that was my bad. Greg, what you got, buddy?
You like those Padres unis because they look like a bit of Vandy unis. They got that
They
similar
do.
run style.
They do.
They have that brownish grayish uni they run. Yeah. Well, spin your globe back to the United States here for these. We're on the T-Wolves -5.5 in the National Basketball Association, and MLB today. We are on the D-backs money line going up against the Giants this evening.
Here we go. I like it. Jimmy Butler over 1.5 threes +140. Jason Tatum, the Celtics over 3.5 threes +120. And then the Angels and the Padres gonna take it over 7 at -115. Okay, now let's get into Major League Baseball here, and we'll talk about weather in a second. Let's play our game, the most fun game that we have. What do we think about? Okay, first off, what do you think about these unis? I like the Mets. All right, solid looking. All right, here are our top 5 for today. Bryce Harper. +280. Schwarber hit 2 bombs yesterday for the Phillies. Harper hit one on Saturday. Bryce Harper +280. Cal Raleigh, the Mariners, +320. Manny Machado of the Padres, +360. Juan Soto, you see pictured there, +400. And then Kyle Tucker of the Cubs, +425. All right, Brad, throw it over to you, buddy. Leadoff hitter. Who are you going with? Hit a bomb today.
I'm going to let Manny be Manny, baby. Not Manny Ramirez, but Manny Machado, +360.
I like it. I like it. Greg, where are you going?
Yeah, I mean, I like that number. Only concern is, as I'm looking out the window, it is starting to pour rain in California right now. So you never know with that. However, I jumped on kind of some of your weather that we've looked at before. I'm going to take Bryce Harper today. Wind is blowing straight out. And looks pretty decent over there. So take Harper with the +280.
There you go. Now, our man Dustin. And this is why it's important to shop your books. Bryce Harper +350 on FanDuel. There you go. Huge number. Huge number right there. Man, this one is tough.
If it wasn't Skeens, I'd like Soto a little more.
I know. Like that's the thing is that he's going against Paul Skeens, but Skeens has given up a little bit lately. Give me. Oh God! All right. Give me Kyle Tucker. Give me Tucker. Tuck +425. I trusted our man. He didn't have him a great game yesterday. I think he'll bounce back. I almost went Cal Raleigh. Look, Scott, you're right there. Cal and Tuck. I know. I'll go Kyle Tucker at +425. Now, you brought up weather, Greg. We don't have a lot of it today. And, again, what we use weather for is to find spots that are great or to identify spots that are really, really tough. All right. If it's just normal hitting weather, don't bring it up. No, really, need to discuss it. So we don't have anything super great or horrible. There are some weird spots out there. Be careful because the temperatures are going down a bit. But Philadelphia here, Cardinals and the Phillies, high 70s, feels like high to mid 70s. No rain. Wind blowing out a little bit, 7 miles an hour, but nothing huge, which is okay, right? You don't have anything going against you here, but nothing, super to identify. Could just be decent hitting. Diamondbacks and the Giants. Now, look at the wind. 12 miles an hour blowing straight out. Solid. Temperature, not great. Hitting in cold weather is never fun. But, again, not terrible. But you do have wind. in your favor. So that could play into it. And that's it. That's all we have on weather. Literally 2 games. So, yeah, I mean, there's just really nothing to identify. Now, let's get to our hitter, pitcher, historicals here. Look at Yaz. Yastrzemski there. All right, leading at 3 home runs against Merrill Kelly of the Diamondbacks. Manny Machado. All right, you're going to see a lot of Kikuchi here on these 2 lists. Manny Machado, all right, got 2 home runs off Kikuchi. Xander Bogaerts, 2 home runs off Kikuchi. All right. Fernando Tatis, 1 home run off Kikuchi. Yeah, there's a lot of them on here. You're going to see a lot of Merrill Kelly as well. All right. We talked about Yaz, Lamont Wade Jr. He's got 2 off Kelly. Your boy Willie's got 2. Man. Luis Matos, he's got 1. Yeah. Greg, anything stand out to you here that you see?
I mean, yeah, like you said, there's definitely a couple spots. You know, the Machado move, like you said, there's definitely a couple spots with some Kikuchi. I will say there is, you know, some pretty solid data with a few of the Giants guys. It was more today with taking the D-backs. It was more of a fade the Giants. I mean, you're coming back off that road trip, you know, the long extra inning game yesterday. I kind of one of those fade spots where you're getting home back to the family. And it feels like San Francisco, especially today. I'm surprised when I see the 0 precipitation because it is wet and rainy and continuing to rain here right now. So a little bit more questionable, which always makes me wonder with the wind there too, because how much things can change directionally in San Francisco. But yeah, I mean, as we said, looks like the Padres definitely have a few great spots today against our boy Kikuchi.
Yep, they do. Now, Brad, hang tight because you're going to answer on this one. Okay, so we inverted here on home runs, but doesn't mean we're fading the guys. All right, let's take a look, see if we can identify anybody. Look at Nicky Lopez, Braves legend. All right, now the Cubs against Cal Quantrill, 6 hits off 18 at bats. Nico Horner, 5 hits off 8 at bats. Cal Quantrill. Austin Riley, 3 hits, 7 at bats on Jake Irvin. See a couple Mariners here against the Yankees and Clark Schmidt, Julio Rodriguez, J.P. Crawford. All right. Pete Alonso against Paul Skeens. 3 at bats, 2 hits. All right. You're seeing Cal Quantrill all over this list here. All over it. Brad, any thoughts that you have here?
Not a lot. Just going back to that first screen, it looks like if somebody's going to get hit up today, it's going to be Kikuchi. There's 3 studs with good numbers off of one guy. Hopefully he throws some softballs.
There you go. The coach. That's what JC the Mouse said. Just say the coach. There you go. Yeah. Look at how many times Cal Quantrill is on this list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times. We'll see if the Cubs see what they got going today. Now, hitting streaks. Manny Machado continues to lead Major League Baseball at 11. Him and Victor Scott. Look at Jordan Beck, Vols legend. 10 straight games with a hit. Shohei Ohtani, 9 straight games. Pages, 8 straight games. Christian Walker, 7. Bellinger, got 7. Mountcastle, 7. Corey Seager, Jose Ramirez, Rhys Hoskins. Nico Horner there, 6 straight games with a hit. Solid. Okay. Fellas, I believe that is it. Let's jump to our picks one more time before we bounce out of here. Brad, let it rip. What you got?
We're headed to Finland up here in less than 2 hours to the Finnish Veikkausliiga, top flight of Finnish football, in a matchup between SJK, VPS. We're taking the over 2.75 Asian total at -140.
There we go. Gregory, what you got, buddy?
NBA today, we are on the T-Wolves -5.5 up against the Warriors, and we are taking the Diamondbacks money line going up against the Giants this evening.
There we go. All right. Jimmy Butler over 1.5 threes. Also going to go Jason Tatum over 3.5 threes plus 120. And then the Angels and the Padres over 7. Now, we'll be live at 3 p.m. Eastern. No, I said 3 a.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern. Today, driving the Nightline for all our final picks from the NBA, Major League Baseball, you name it, for tonight. But the last thing we have to do, our Howie Schwab crew play of the day. And you have chosen the Celtics -6.5 at 43%. Second place, the Timberwolves -5.5 at 28%. And then the Knicks +6.5 at 20%. So there you go. Crew is going with the Celtics -6.5 tonight. Brad, any final thoughts before we jump out of here?
The slate this week, it's middle of the week throughout the end of the week. We got all these cup fixtures. We've got these leagues who are just starting for 5, 6, 7 matches into the season. We've also got a few trickling toward the end of the season. You got Italian Serie A. You'll have Spain's La Liga tomorrow or tomorrow, Wednesday. We've got a full slate of MLS on Wednesday night. So we're breaking up this 1 week league play with a Wednesday night, and then we'll be back again on the weekend for the MLS. So this week, just make sure that you have all of the players in the lineups. These cup matches, towards the beginning of the season, you can have rotations, and that will completely change the outcome of what is expected in the matches. So again, just be careful. Midweek football is always tough, especially toward the end of the season. You have to question the motivation for a lot of these athletes who could be mentally in Dubai.
There we go. Greg, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I actually just commented below earlier on a question about it. 5 weeks left, just about in college baseball. 1 more week of the regular season, then regionals, conference playoffs, regionals, super regionals, and then the College World Series. So still a lot of time to cash in with us. Futures are getting exciting. Got some good spots. I love how Oregon's playing right now. Got a 75-1 on Oregon. So few different locations, but yeah, like, we mentioned, I guess you guys said on the show, it was awesome with UTSA hitting that 20-1 future on Friday, and cashed our play of the day yesterday, went 6-2. So we're up just under 158 units now in college baseball, and continue to move through it. So happy to be on the show. We'll be on through the week and get some good content. We'll either be in Omaha or be in Vegas for the World Series. So we'll make sure that we're jumping in to give you guys more plays through that as well.
Nice, man. Great work indeed. All right, everybody, we'll be live 3 p.m. Eastern today. But till then, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets. We'll see you this afternoon. Thanks.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody.